Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the devlog series where I talk about all my mistakes in past crappy games. Just kidding, well, kind of. Sorry about the mess behind me. I know last week there was a bunch of stuff back there too. We're moving this weekend, so this is going to be the third time I've moved in 2 years. Which, I don't know, that might not sound a lot to some people, but if you know me, that's huge. So I think I've moved more in the past 2 years than I have my entire life combined, or equally. It's crazy. Anyways, so yeah, sorry about the mess and stuff back there. The next video I actually record will be in a different location, so it'll look different, and that'll be kind of cool. I'll set up a nice little office area with good backdrop, stuff like that. That'll be fun. But yeah, so on to the next devlog video. If you remember last time I left off where I talked about how Kyle and I made this game demonic and how it was our first game and it was exciting and really cool. It was crappy. No one liked it really. But it was our first game. So this led into, like I said, we kind of had this fire lit inside of us. We wanted to continue development, but we really didn't know where to go from here because we didn't have experience in actually developing full games. We just made this like one little bullet hell game, and we're like, okay, well, what do we do now? Like, what's the best path to take? Well, luckily around that time, Kyle was doing side work for people at a school called UAT, where they were doing game development, and Kyle would go in there and he would program some systems for a couple games that people were working on. So he got to know some of the people there, and that got our foot in the door for UAT. And we would go there and, hang out with some people, see the games they were making. And then eventually, it came up on the topic that we were getting into game development together, and we had made this game, and we were looking, for some sort of guidance on what to do next. And people there were suggesting game jams. They did these 48-hour game jams where they would give a theme out, and you would have to make this game in 48 hours, as playable as possible. It didn't have to be a fully polished game, obviously, but something that you could present, and then they had awards for them. You got prizes like gift cards. It was really cool, actually. And that was just, we were super stoked. I remember that I was working at the time pretty far away from where I lived, and the game jam was coming up, and I only found out about it like a week before the actual game jam was supposed to happen, so I couldn't take work off. But I was at work the night that it started, and I just left. I was like, I'm gonna leave now. And it was like raining heavily outside. It was pouring. It was like hard to see outside the car window, but I was super excited about getting home, so I was driving probably faster than I should, but it was awesome. Like, it was such an exciting moment, like getting into this new this game jam. Like, it was just, I don't know, it was amazing. So anyways, we I think my webcam is moving around. I don't know what I'm doing. I get home, and like we start crunching on this right away. So they give out so the way it works is that you go to the location of the game jam, and then you sit in like a conference room, and they talk about like what the game jam is about, blah 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 blah, and then they give out the theme. So the theme for this one, for instance, was stealth. And throughout all the games I'm going to talk about from this game forward, everything had a theme that we had to stick to. So we incorporated whatever theme it was into the game, and that's what led to the main game's design. I mean, obviously, we structured a theme in our own unique way, but it was based off a theme. So just from here on out, I'll always talk about themes when I'm talking about the games we made. So this first one was stealth. So we got this theme from UAT. The presenter gave us to it. We rushed back home, and we just started brainstorming. Like, okay, what can we do with stealth? Like, what can we do with this mechanic that is unique? Because if you think of stealth, usually you think of like avoiding detection, ninjas, some sort of sneaking around, things like that. Like a very normal mechanic, like stealth. You've played a game with stealth in it. We all have. That's what we were thinking about. But we wanted to do something a little different, which now that I think back on it, it wasn't that different, but it was. We tried. We tried. Anyway, so we came up with this idea where it was like a top-down space shooter where you like control a ship, you move side to side, and then you shoot enemies as they come towards you. But you had to switch between a non-stealth version and a stealth version. So you could only attack certain enemies in stealth, and then you could only attack the regular enemies outside of stealth. Every time you killed an enemy, you got energy, and that energy upgraded your ship, so you got more guns, you got faster, whatnot. But when you went to stealth, it drained your energy, so you lost these upgrades, which you're probably thinking, that's stupid, Alex. Why would you do that? That's punishing the player for using the mechanic you made. I agree. It's stupid, but at the time we thought it was amazing. So we made this, and I actually think I did a pretty good job on the art only for my second game. It wasn't bad. Like, I made this really cool planet. I'm probably showing it, like, right here again. But I made this really cool planet in the background, and it was parallaxed, and I don't know. It looked decent. It wasn't great, but it was decent. So we make this, and we're like, hell yeah. Like, this is another... And another thing, we developed these first 2 games in Flash, in, like, AS3 or whatever it was, so it was super hard for Kyle to code, because he was used to, like, I think C# at the time. I'm not too sure, but he was totally new to Flash. So, yeah, we made these games in AS3, or these first 2 games in AS3. We made the second one, and we got to the, finally named it. Oh, maybe I should give you the name of the game, right? Obviously. Project Icarus is what we called it. Don't know why, but Project Icarus was the name of it, and so yeah, we packaged this up, put it on a USB, and we like went down to UAT, and we're ready to present. And we were like, we got this. Like, we got this. We're gonna win. This is awesome. Like, nobody can beat us. Like, this game is the mechanic is deep. It's fun to play. We're gonna win this. Gift cards are ours. Thank you. Bye. So everybody presents. We present ours, and then judges go into a back room, and then they have to judge the games. So it takes like 30 minutes, whatnot. So, you know, obviously, we're not worried. We're going to win this. We got this, right? And then they come back and they start showing the games off. And then they, you know, do best art. Someone else wins. Best sound. Somebody else wins. Best use of the theme. Somebody else wins. Oh, here we go. The main category. Best game. Somebody else wins. So we're sitting there and we're like, what the fuck? Like, we put all our effort into this. This was a good game. We did a good job. The mechanic is awesome. Like, the art's good. The programming's good. We deserve something. Like, this game that won, this ninja game where you, like... It's a regular stealth ninja game. Like, why would that win? So, we were, like, super pissed off. And we were, like... You know, people are trying to talk to us, and, like, we're just not engaging. And we came off as jerks. Like, we came off as huge jerks because we thought that, you know... that we should have won. And why? Like, it was the first game jam we ever did. We have no idea what we're doing, yet we think this first game that we make is gonna like hit it off and be amazing. It was we were completely delusional. So we got home, and like we gave, like, I think we went on the website or something, like, or Kyle messaged somebody at the school, and he was like, you know, we didn't get any feedback. We didn't know what we did wrong. We don't know why anybody didn't acknowledge the game we made. It was just like we were being super ungrateful that they invited us to do this thing. It was, I don't know what was wrong with us. So anyways, like, we felt like we were overlooked, and we wanted to show them that we were special. Like, hey, this game is special. We did something good. You guys were wrong. So we started making it a full game, which, if you ever do game jams, if you present a game and nobody likes it, you should stop right there. Don't continue making the game. Don't waste your time developing it. Just stop and move on to something else. But nope. We were going to show everybody that we were better developers than they were, and we were going to make it into a full game. And what we got out of it was a freaking awesome menu. That's right, we did a spectacular menu. Kyle did all, I'll probably show it right here, or over the full screen if I can. But Kyle did this awesome menu, and I like all the pieces came in, and there was like flickering text like on a LCD monitor or LED monitor. It was awesome. It was a menu, and that was it. And I think that took us 2 months. It took us 2 months. So after that, like, we were developing it. We still had the same gameplay as usual, but there was a meeting called IGDA, which is an Independent Game Developer Association or something like that, where they have meetings and you can show off your projects. And we went there, and we showed off the original Project Icarus game, and we're like, hey everyone, we're going to make this into a full game for Xbox and Steam, and you can look for it coming out in a year. And like, it was just, oh my god, it's embarrassing. Like, thinking about it is embarrassing. It's embarrassing that we got up in front of those people and actually showed them that shit. Like, that we were going, like, this is, you are going to want to buy this game, trust me. Oh my god, it was terrible. yeah, so it was just all around like an embarrassment, because we should have been grateful. We should have been thanking people for even playing our game, and then like asking them like, hey, what can we improve on? What can we do? Going to them, because in a situation like that where we're newcomers, no one's going to like approach us and try to coach us on making better games. They already have enough to do with the the people they know and the projects going on that they have. So we should have really reached out, especially at that IGDA meeting. We could have stayed. In fact, people messaged us afterwards and they're like, where did you go? Like, why did you leave? You should have came and talked to us. It was just, yeah, it was just embarrassing overall. So that we learned a lot from that. We learned that humility is a huge part of it. Because the problem with any sort of art, games, anything, is that when you put yourself into it, you get offended twice as much as you would if you didn't. Because you feel like they're insulting you, not the thing you made. And you have to separate yourself from that. You have to take criticism, because the thing you're making, yes, you made it, and you do put parts of yourself in it, but that's not you. That's just something that you made. And people can be objectionable about that. They can be subjective. Like, everybody sees something different, and your idea is not going to be liked by everybody. And in fact, I think that like there's a rule that says like about 10% of the population will actually like what you do. So out of 100 people, 10 people are actually gonna like your idea, that sounds normal to me. That sounds about right. But yeah, you have to go into any sort of field where you're making something that can be interpreted by people. You have to go in with humility, because if you don't, you're gonna look like us, and people are going to think you're assholes because you're not grateful for having the experience of even being in this situation where people invited you in. It's embarrassing. So, moral lesson of the day: don't be an asshole to people who are nice to you and invite you into a group that they didn't have to. But yeah, that's Project Icarus. Hopefully you got to see some video of it if I found some. It's a really old game and I don't know if it runs anymore, but if there might have been some video around of it on the screen here where I was talking. Next time, we will go over the third game we made, which is another game jam game, and this is actually where things started going upwards, looking up. We started to be more gracious, we started to give more effort and put more meaning into the games. This is where I started to actually think about them as art, like from a personal standpoint. Like, what do I want people to feel when they play this? What do I want it to mean when you play this? And that's where things really started to change. And yeah, that's next time. So thanks for listening to the embarrassing story that I had about Project Icarus. It's a terrible game. We'll probably never actually release it for people to play. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see about that. But yeah, it's terrible. So thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the embarrassment, and I will see you next time.